God damn it. My computer crashed. Okay, I think it saved my game. So we'll just continue. I'm gonna leave all the sound effects off this time, so I'm not switching back and forth. Yeah, where the strangers come from. Alright. If we're redoing a part of it, oh, that's not the worst. That's not the worst. Over here. Maybe their outfit changing. I'm not sure if it's saved on dialogue here, but let's see. Yeah, okay, I think that's all good. And then we went downstairs here. Maybe I should start editing videos so the VOD doesn't have technical issues like this. Here's the flea. Okay. Oh, we just use these to get around internally. What do you do here? Oh, I'm a copywriter. Like some bottles and flyers, ad copy, that sort of thing. Discerning shades and heartsick lovers have long known the taste of hard times and held it in favor over all other spirits. That was one of them. So, the trucks are just Easterways and shipping. You can become acquainted with the dispatcher there. Give me a tap on the shoulder if you see something that catches your eye. Always happy to show off the facilities. Sublime machinery. We drive this thing? Oh my. You can't drive across the yellow line. That's a good detail. Alright, let's talk to this guy. Z. Howdy go, Z. Zeke just did a bit of recruiting. Stopped at a tavern to collect payment and returned with able bodies. Yeah, that is what happened to the people at the tavern. At least they didn't die. But man, that is very dubious. We're not going further with this. Let's get back in the shuffle. Let's go to shipping again. The game was not expecting me to park the car so horribly. We go to shipping now. Wherever it is. Oh, I reversed the car. That's cool. But see, now that I know you can do that, what's here? We can go over here. Oh, move here. Oh, I see the same thing as in the town. From all of the mountain thing. There's stone. This feels slightly more structured. I think that's just the game. Oh, boats. Thought you like to see the accommodations. We supply what ready within, according to the formula. You sleep here? The commute will cut into our working hours. We dearly need those working hours, some more than others. Why, I haven't seen the outdoors in myself unfocused. Well, shouldn't I be? I've got this figure to pay down. The longer I sleep, the more interest I lose. It's a sin to seek freedom away like that. Of course, as a delivery driver, you'll be able to come and go a little. You're timed pretty closely, but you can still roll the window down. Maybe glimpse a familiar silhouette on the side of the road as you pass. You can't talk to that way. Let's get back in the shuttle. This I didn't expect the distillery to be on such a large scale. This is crazy. We're at shipping now. Terrible, right? Well, here it is. Now I have to ask, as a matter of course, what kind of experience do you have driving trucks? I used to drive long hauls. It's a lonely kind of thing, or so I hear. And you can drive safe, can't you? I haven't any doubt now. Tell me, after what happened with Miguel this evening. What happened with Miguel this evening? Well, the dust is still clearing, of course. Perhaps he closed his eyes a moment, or simply hit a curve too devilish. I do pity ill-fated Miguel. He was good company and slow to anger. But if we're speaking confidentially, well, with all that lost product to be reclaimed, bourbon and glass dashed across the interstate, and food costs too, well, I'm just thankful he had no next of kin. So, let's see if we can reload the dispatcher. Doolittle starts the truck and switches on the CB radio. A deep, monotonous voice drones from the dashboard speaker. 1020 on that low, come back. Up in the Hummingbird Cave, 1012, City Kitty. This a good time, dispatch? We may have found Miguel's replacement. Thought you might like to get acquainted. 10-9, come again? Introduce yourself. Pleased to meet you. Tell dispatch something impressive about yourself. You're very well regarded here. You folks know anything about 99 wheel holder? Gotta pay the water bill. So I'm certain they'll call back before long. Let's take a look around the truck, eh? Headlights. Your lights work fine, see? You little fiddles with the controls. That's important. Most of our product goes out at night. You never know who you'll run into in the daylight. And dusk can be treacherously misleading with all that indirect light and magic gallery. Drivers sleep in the daytime? Sure, there's that sleep. Miguel pulled extra day shifts when he could. Sometimes he'd help me, you know. Sometimes I went and bought me. He shouldn't have been out driving at dusk. Weird shadows, soft light, dangerous. Headlights look, pretty okay. That they do. Moving on. Tires. Oh, sure. I know you want to look. Hit the tires. That's the thing we do, isn't it? As though our news could exert the kind of force these tires see out there on the road, we're more likely to hurt ourselves. Isn't that the way? Sure, they're big machines, but they can be fragile. Absolutely. A truck deserves care and fearful respect, like a glass elephant. Miguel was a good driver. He didn't have that quality of deference. First, always sat in a dim room full of folding chairs. The walls and ceiling were painted with old smoke. Someone read from a book and drank coffee with a little sugar. He listened. The speaker listed all the things we tried. That we, most people in the room were probably there by call. This is Alcoholics Anonymous. A few others sharing the spelling abstractions like a program of action, a good and orderly direction, spiritual but not religious, religious but not spiritual, all the things we tried. Then it was over. We clasped sweaty hands for a short prayer and stepped back out into the morning. He started walking. He was always walking these days. It was good to slow down. It felt clarifying with the walking meditation. The road ran by a creek for a while. We took an unforeseen detour where the creek and road parted, following the edge of the water. We skipped a few stones, alone, and stopped to consider an overturned boat. There was a kind of serenity that, wandering and looking without purpose, was coming to rely on those moments. Now, what else can we show you? Looks like it's just about ready to go out. We have some good folks in shipping here, so you never need to worry about loading if you don't want to. A bit hard on the knees and back out actually. Of course you have to unload at the destination, but that's the job. And some drivers like the extra shift, stacking and loading here. I shouldn't really do any lifting these days. Did Miguel love his own trucks? He did, and it was a jealously guarded task for him. If I didn't know the man better, hear me now. I say, if I didn't know the man better, I may have suspected he was skimming off the top. Only woke up from a pale dream. Everything was too bright. His head hurt, the usual. Lisette and Ira argued loudly just outside the open barn door. She wanted Ira to take them inside and shower, have some coffee, get to John. Ira said there wasn't time. Conway was in no condition. It wasn't important, John, but couldn't put it off. Ira said to let the deadbeat sleep it off, and then send him packing. He and Charlie can do the job. Yeah. Conway stepped out of the barn, shielding his eyes. He tried to say something reassuring, but just sort of stumbled around it. Lisette looked away. Ira just spat and went inside to wake Charlie. Ira was a stubborn man. So Charlie went along, and Conway drifted out again. And he didn't hear about the accident until a month later. Oh, God. So, what's next? Wipers, I guess. Control the wipers with this knob here. The little fiddles with the controls. They seem to have a decent torque to them, eh? Can't say how they'd fare in an ice storm. but we must never delay a shipment. Better to assume the risk. Oh wait, the dots are connecting once again. If they don't risk missing a delivery, does that mean that Miguel was driving the truck that was going to the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces? Because if Miguel crashed, then that delivery would have been late till it never arrived. And they're still recovering the stuff, I guess? Always clear skies down here. So I hear, but most of our product is delivered by surface roads, which feel rain quite often, particularly in the spring months, I hear. They ditched across for the day and driving away. It was pointless to stay. RV. It was a lost cause and she didn't need it anyway. It was smart, boring. It was time to cut out. Shitty day for it though. 83, biblical flood. I went to see a movie. It was some anonymous swashbuckler thing about real men and women, real tides, real lips, fake blood. We bought a flask. We smoked cigarettes, drank awful food, whistling buckets of rain. She sang about someone she wanted once to have loved. Brown hair colored on her ear. She had a voice like electricity. Is this set in Norway? Because, well, the song that the bar or the tavern just earlier in the game timeline. That's is Holly mentioned that Lisette used to do open mic in taverns and bars and whatnot, I think. So it might be, anyway, record another thing. And another and another. She worried it was getting dark out. Then it was getting light out. It ended up in someone else's field, in someone else's car. An early morning joyride, a sunrise collision. She got on the bus, and he hiked back to his car. He sat in his car and went over some options. Chicago, Toronto, LA. It seemed like a bold and impulsive gesture at the time. As he pulled out of the parking lot, he removed his hands from the steering wheel for a moment and felt the car drift into a decision. Years later, he'd think of this as the moment he himself started drifting. Modest technology, but suited to the job, eh? Wasn't good enough. The truck's radio echoes back to life. Delivery, come back. Ah, here's dispatch. Now, tell them about your experience. Tell them the truck's in good shape. Tell them you'll start in the morning. I really can't. Yeah, we got to finish this delivery in a few... 10:33, dispatch. Got 2 black eyes and a fucking puppy eyes. Come back. 10-4, back it down and put the eyelids, striker. Huh? Come back then. 10-4. Come back to your holder. 10-4. Got your ears on? Good. Listen to this. So... I think that went well. Let's head back up to logistics and seal the deal. We got one more thing to show you. season. It's gotten real dark all of a sudden. Alright. That parking is horrible, man. Doolittle. Well, can't say much on you. You park pretty showily too. But I can't wait to know how to park a car like this. Let's head back upstairs, eh? I have one more thing to show you. Wait, we only came here looking for some answers about this stupid moldy computer. Oh, the old man in the cave with the moldy computer. That black mold. It's drawn to whiskey. It feeds on ethanol fumes, you see. As we age the whiskey, some of it inevitably evaporates into the air. Angels show. You go through vents here and out into caves. If we can scrape up that mold, we can usually apply some pressure and filter. Squeeze and condense the Angel's share back into drinkable whiskey. Oh, that's why they collect. Every drop counts when you're making a living on stuff. We go down and scrape it off his equipment, just like any other place it grows. He kept sending his people here to drive us away. Paranoid, truly paranoid. Well, now we have the formula, so we don't need to go collect the mold. But we didn't do anything to his moldy computer. He just forgot the password. One of his assistants shared it with me. Dome in air. That will get you going, I'm sure of it. So, going upstairs? That's what happened. Wait, interestingly enough, Conway's legs don't get affected by the thing that Jen does. Yes, we're going back up. If you don't mind. Bring my safety hat. Back. Where's Conway? There he is, okay. Here it is. A beauty, wouldn't you say? It's an antique, you know? What is it? Why, it's an adding machine. This is where we come for our daily ritual, to calculate the day's interest and repayment according to the formula. I usually do so at the beginning of my shift, so I know how many hours I need in order to keep up. Yes, I believe you'll do well here, sir. Happy to have you. Congratulations, you're hired. Wait, we can't... It's customary here to start each day with a shift drink. Let's make it special. Mark the occasion. This is top shelf stuff now. Single barrel. It doesn't... Down the hatch. Vino Memoria North. I don't want to drink. I'm not moving my mouse. I'm not moving my mouse. Hands off. Oh, it clicked. I didn't click. Fuck. I don't want him to drink. I know he doesn't want to drink. Decent enough. Welcome aboard. He's not working for you. We have to get back to this. Oh, he has a delivery to make. What's this? Not working? Are you turning down this opportunity? She's right, I have to make this, disappointing. And I'm afraid that leaves us with a delicate problem. As I indicated, this is the top shelf stuff we're drinking now. It isn't cheap. If it's not your first shift drink, well, then there's the matter of this tour just now. My time and experience have built that why we mean. This is not good for you, my friend. We're in quite deep. But by my back on the envelope estimations, well, we have that in common, I suppose. All of us. Yes. I'm afraid you'll have to work this off somehow. It's just a way of it. What's happening right now? You can start tomorrow. Take the time to settle your affairs. Of course, the interest begins to compound immediately. And, well, we'll go over the formula when you get here. I should get back to work. See you tomorrow then. So, I guess I start in the morning. I guess. I'm confused. It's just the way these things go through. Huh? Well, that still gives us a few hours to run, right? Where's that ferry? Is there a way? Was there a way to get out of that situation? Oh, I'm pushed away. Right now. That's a mammoth. They're supposed to be extinct? Okay. I feel like this is... like, I'm contractually obliged to say. Can we address the elephant in the room? Or the elephant on the ferry? What the hell? Okay, well that's Act 3 done. Man, actually, I lied. I'm gonna look up. Was there a way to avoid getting Conway into debt? Okay, I don't think there was a way to get him out of that situation, but man, it still feels shit. I feel like I could have chosen different dialogue from the beginning to avoid, yes. But, I mean, judging by the way that Shannon and Conway were acting when they came back from the church, maybe not, maybe it's a canon event. Okay, moving on to here and there along the echo. Wait a minute. I took notes. Where's that phone number? This is the same phone number that I wrote down. This was on the back of that pamphlet about tourism. Okay, that gives us an idea of who we're calling. 2703157. Oh, do I not know how phones work? Yeah. Okay, 2 7 it's been too long since I've used these. 3015797. Am I on hold? Unbelievable.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism. For a
Wait, I didn't know you could do that. Hold on. Let me see if I can get subtitles up. Let's just options. Text. I guess there's no.
The time allotted for you to dial has been exceeded. Please hang up and dial again. This is a recording.
Okay, I guess. Anyway.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism. For a menu of our resources, press 1. If you have an extension to dial, press 9. For more information about our organization, press 3. If you don't remember dialing this number at all, press 5. To hear these options again, press 0. The Bureau of Secret Tourism is supported by a generous population of river creatures whom I fix up and grill as necessary. I am environmentally minded, and I believe all creatures are equally deserving of support in their transition to the next world. So I usually try to sing a little elegy like, small water creature, crab or frog, now you know that sleep is all around us, like a muggy, tranquil fog. Something like that. It's easier to come up with these songs when I'm hungry in a sort of transcendental fasting state. but I've actually just had breakfast. A debt of gratitude is also owed to the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces, who unselfishly and unknowingly donates this here telephone line for the purpose of this here informational resource. You can always find the latest secret tourism literature in any of our unmarked kiosks or any other old place it happens to lay. That's all I have to say about that. Hey, do me a favor. When you get a chance, call us back at extension 1928. You can press 0 now to go back to the main menu. You can press 0 now to go back to the main menu.
I love having pen and paper when playing
Welcome
games.
home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying an unfamiliar sound, press 3. If you're holding a snake right now, press 4. To hear these options again, press 0. Well, if you're dialed into this here informational resource, then you're a certain kind of beachcombing, bat-calling sightseer. So let's take a driftwood inventory. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For forgotten places, press 2. For restless places, press 3. For what little we know of the Iron Pariah, press 4. For food and drink recommendations, press 5. To return to the main menu, press 6. To hear these options again, press 0.
Oh, man. Oh, no, about
For a
everything.
diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For forgotten places, press 2.
Maybe
For
some of that was
restless places,
first.
press 3. For the cluttered place, press 1. For the flooding place, press 2. For a list of the places where people can't sleep, press 3.
Mhm.
For the cluttered place, people can't sleep in the wet grass or on the bridges of New Königsberg. They can't sleep anywhere near Lake Lethe because it's too large. Nobody can sleep with their toes in the river because it's too cold. People can't sleep where I sleep because I'm all knees and elbows, and anyway, there isn't enough room for both of us. I'm not sure if anyone can sleep on the deck of the Mucky Mammoth, but I'm certain they can't sleep on the trash barge because of the smell. If you have anything to add, please call us back with extension 7360. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For forgotten places, press 2. For the cluttered place, press 1. There is a place always cluttered by debris floating along the water. Otherwise, it's unremarkable. In fact, the only way to find it is to notice that there happens to be more trash there than anywhere else around. I wonder why that is. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press. For the cluttered place, there is a place that regularly floods. I first saw this place years ago when an acquaintance of mine, an artist, built an installation there. The work was very complicated. All of her artwork is. I remember it was made from huge piles of recycled newspapers. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to complete it before the flood came and wiped it out. The next time I passed by this place, it was full of young men and women on bicycles. They'd built a track weaving through the soggy ruins of my acquaintance's flooded artwork. The rising water level quickly made it too dangerous to ride in anymore, and many bicycles were crashed and abandoned. The last time I saw the place, it had been repurposed to store handmade pottery earmarked for sale out of state. By the time I arrived, there was just a pile of ceramic fragments dashed by floodwaters against rusting bicycles and gray pulp. I've heard recently that this place has been reclaimed again. Surely this time, things will be different. For a diver's guide to underwater
It's gotta
islands,
be related
press
to Lula.
1. For forgotten
And
places,
Lions being
press
flooded.
2. For restless places, press 3. Perhaps it's the violent displacement of natural gases. Perhaps the river tilts to face the moon, slowly changing the angle of its surface over time. Some sailors blame corked rocks. Whatever the geological explanation, the islands of the Echo River are mostly transient, rising and diving on some inscrutable schedule. The following islands are presently underwater. The uninhabited island, Whippoorwill Islet, Island of Heartsickness, Hermit Thrush Island, the Undefinable Island, Beton Island, Bear Island, Implied Island, Chorus Keys. This list is current as of now. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For forgotten places, press 2. For secret tourism, forgotten places are the vital spark. Take no pictures here, nor souvenirs. Write no travelogues. We will discuss these places now in vague and qualified descriptions. For the town with no roads to it, press 1. For the silo of late reflections, press 2. For the monument to something that we don't remember what it is, press 3. There is a town which has its own roads, but which no other roads connect to. They send and receive mail. There is a school, and so on. But what I want to tell you about now is the horses. There are horses living wild in this town. I forget how they got there. They don't stay in stalls. They sleep outside. They walk through the town, on the streets, or on the sidewalks, and the people of the town think of them as elegant, wordless neighbors. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For forgotten places, press 2. For secret tourism, forgotten places are the vital spark. Take no pictures here, nor souvenirs. Write no travelogues. We will discuss these places now in vague and qualified descriptions. For the town with no roads to it, press 1. For the silo of late reflections, press 2. There is a silo so tall and strange that it can take years for an echoing word to bounce from bottom to top and then bottom again. If you wait patiently, you may overhear the conversations of earlier visitors. I once had an argument there with a dear friend, but I forget what it was about, and we haven't spoken since.
Is this Donald?
Maybe I'll go find out someday. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For forgotten places, press 2. For restless places. For secret tourism, forgotten places are the vital spark. Take no pictures here, nor souvenirs. Write no travelogues. We will discuss these places now in vague and qualified descriptions. For the town with no roads to it, I suppose it must have been an important event if we felt we needed to commemorate it. The monument looks like it was a lot of work to put together. I wonder if it was a happy occasion, something we were celebrating and didn't want to let go of, or if instead it was something so horrible that we never wanted to forget it, for fear that we'd accidentally do it again. There isn't a plaque or anything. I guess we didn't think we'd need one. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. The Iron Pariah is just what she's called along the Echo River. Of course, she once had another name, but it's been scratched away, maybe out of shame? Or maybe she took a bend too sharply and left her true name on a rock. So, what else? We know she was in the war, but neither side would claim her. We don't know if anyone's aboard. She drifts along the water and commands a wide berth. Tourists, if you hope to document the Iron Pariah, I fear you will be disappointed. She has a beguiling way of vanishing from photographs. Steer to shore and let her be carried along in silence. Pilgrims, I wouldn't dare to interfere. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For forgotten places, press 2. For restless places, press 3. For what little we know of the Iron Pariah, press 4. For food and drink recommendations, press 5. For food, press 1. For drink, press 2. To return to the main menu, if you plan your journey along the Echo to be a slow and thoughtful one, you will surely want to eat. It's true, and even advanced preparation can still fail you. Maybe the food you've packed will fall in the water and be spoiled, or it could be stolen by a bat. Well, the water sustains all travelers. Catch it yourself in the river, or have something prepared for you at it's this place out on the lake. The restaurant is called, well, it's out on Lake Letha. It has to be out there where the water is deepest. If you go early in the morning, you might see the diver bring in his nightly haul. Weird creatures from weird depths, fish, crabs, jellies, things we don't have proper names for at this elevation. Sam and Ida's, that's the name of it. Sam dives, Ida cooks. Unique fare and uncommon conversation, to say nothing of the decor. If you do stop by, tell them I said hello, and that they're always in my thoughts and prayers. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For food, press 1. The water is fine, but more adventurous tourists will surely be looking for stronger stuff. Move quickly along past any strangers with cheap bourbon flasks. You can get that hard times rotgut anywhere. If you're traveling by boat, you'll want the traditional seafarer's liquor. As it happens, there's a watering hole called the Rum Colony, wholly devoted to the stuff. You know, mixed with sugar and bright colors. I've heard it's excellent, but I never drink the stuff. I take my spirits clear. For a diver's guide to underwater islands, press 1. For forgotten places, press 2. For restless places, press 3. For what little we know of the iron pariah, press 4. For food and drink recommendations, press 5. To return to the main menu, press 6. To hear these options again, welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. For different types of water, press 1. For the language of bats, press 2. For insect interaction, the Echo River is best known for its plentiful waters, not their volume, but their diversity. There's surface water, deep water, big water, and small water. Water that moves quickly, slower water, water in a cup. There's the water you know about, the water you don't know about, and the water you only assume exists due to indirect evidence like a rumbling sound behind the rock. Cool water, but also warm and even warmer. Water that gets things clean, water that only makes things dirtier, water's both soft and hard. Water in living bodies. If you come across any other kind of water, be very careful. Call us back and dial extension 0464 just to be safe. For different types of water, press 1. For the language of bats, press 2. For insect interactions, press 3. To return to the main menu, press 5. To hear these options again, press 0. For different types of water, press 1. Many find learning the language of bats to be intimidating, but it's really pretty straightforward. The most difficult part is getting your ultrasonic pronunciation right. See, bats have enormous, complex ears. For us, it's more of a struggle. Here, let's try some useful phrases. Repeat after me so you can practice your pronunciation. Here's how you say, I don't know where I am. Okay, here's how you could ask, haven't we met before? Great. And here's how you say, sorry, I must have left it in the boat. Now, a very useful phrase. It's a shame we didn't record that. Every conversation has to end. So here's how to say, I will write that down in case I forget it later. For different types of water, press 1. For the language of bats. If you stop your boat somewhere cool, you may find yourself swarmed by insects. You may swat at them or cover your face, thinking they're all trying to bite you or buzz in your ear. But these insects are more interested in each other than they are in you. In fact, they've already forgotten you. They're back to chasing each other, breeding, competing over resources. Their minds are so shallow that while you've been standing there with your hands raised to your face, they've begun to think of you as part of the landscape, a funny-looking rock. This is what they sound like.
Okay, it's still going. It just doesn't stop. Goddamn. Feels like summer. Yeah, okay, this is, yeah. Really appreciating the details. Okay, yeah, I was just saying I think my mic disconnected for a second there, but look at the scratches on the desk. Isn't that very nice? How do we get out of here?
For different types of water, press 1. For the language of bats, press 2. For insect interactions, press 3. To return to the main menu, press 5. Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying an unfamiliar sound, press 3. If you're holding a snake right now, press 4.
I
To
might
hear these
just
options again, press
hang
0.
up the phone and then dial one of the extensions, I think. But let's try that. So where to? Oh, damn. Mind of
The time allotted for you to dial has been exceeded.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There Along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism. For a menu of our resources, press 1. If you have an extension to dial, press 9. For more information about our organization, press 3. If you don't remember dialing this number at all, press 5. To hear these options again, press 0.
Let's try
So,
doing
you don't
5.
remember dialing this number. You just sort of woke up with the phone pressed to your ear, ringing on the other end. Or maybe you thought you dialed a different number, but your digits betrayed you. Or there's a faulty connection somewhere out there in that spider web lattice of phone cords that covers all of creation. It must be kind of a nice feeling, really. It's like you and I just bumped into each other in the street or a little cafe. Say, next time you meet a stranger, call us back at extension 7864 and hand them the phone. We'd love to get to know them.
Okay,
Welcome
interesting.
home.
I don't quite know how the extension thing works, but I think we just replaced the last 4 digits here, maybe. So let's 27.
The number you have dialed is not real.
Huh? Wait. 2. Okay, no, that does exist. Let's do 0464.
The number you have dialed is not real.
Yeah, I don't know how this extension thing works. Anyway, looks like to trigger the next section, we have to call the number on the desk and then say we're done.
Hello. You have dialed in.
Interesting.
Hello. You have dialed into Here and There guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims. This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism. For a menu of our resources, press 1. If you have an extension to dial,
Oh, extension.
press 9.
9.
Now is the time to dial an extension.
0464.
Found some weird water, huh? All right. We'd better catalog it. Hold the phone up to it for a bit, and we'll record it for later analysis. Press 0 when you're done.
Oh shit, there's actually nothing for them to record. I thought we were just gonna describe stuff, but...
Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the river's flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying an unfamiliar sound, press 3.
3.
For a catalog of subterranean birdsong, press 1.
Huh.
For help identifying something that's happening in the dark, press 2.
That's
If you are
ominous.
hearing organ music, press 3.
3.
To return to the main menu, lucky you. Does it sound like this?
You know, I don't quite remember what it sounded like. Back at the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces, there was an organ player, but anyway. Cool, ready to go? Yeah, let's go. Alright. Interesting. Act 4. Let's do it. Holy crap. It's a mechanical mammoth? Manual 5.4 Context Backlash. General wear on the gestural gear mounting apparatus 5A-1 may result in undesirable play between teeth in the context and history state machine gears, causing stirring, slippage, resetting, skipping. Guess it could be slippage. If left unresolved, gear slot can gradually throw limbs out of alignment, blend motions, and decontextualize gestures. See also Section 1.8 General Troubleshooting and 5.3 Gesture Context. Troubleshooting, okay. 1.8 General Troubleshooting. Technicians of sufficient talent and experience may skip this section. General troubleshooting techniques include leaving it alone and returning later until the hue becomes apparent, pretending not to notice the problem, or hammering something with plastic. Maybe I ought to read it back to front. My savior, our friend here is in a bad way. Any insight? Is that Junebug? Yeah, that is Junebug. Time to put them out to pasture. Oh, that's... I try to stay clear of high voltage these days. I don't at all blame you, especially down here, on the water. I mean, sure, it's dangerous, but this is where she lives. And what brings you down to the Echo tonight? I always end up here, eventually. The river is like that. It always has been. We picked you up at the bureau tonight. Never seen you that far upriver before. I hope that doesn't mean you've been traveling on the Zero? Yeah, have you been there, the Zero? Oh, no, not me. This old river rat steers clear of weird highways. I've been traveling this river for more than half my life, more or less alone. I think I've seen it change quite a bit in all those years, but I can't say for sure. The water has a peculiar way of making a person forgetful. Some nights I remember a place, but it's full of strange new people. Some nights I meet an old friend on an unfamiliar shore. I wonder what kind of night this is. I think the microphone picked up my bones cracking. I don't know. That or my chair. The mucky mammoth. Wait. Is that a dog? Kate. Oh, okay. How's that cold river spray treating you? Thought I saw you squinting. It's hard water, you know, hard on the eyes. It still irritates mine a little, and I'm piloting a tugboat through it 6 nights a week. Don't be too shy to close them in public. Your eyes, I mean. People will just assume you're thoughtful. We need tea. So, peppermint, definitely. Bit of hedgehog, dried spring, agaricus. Write that word down. Split, gill powder, and greening goat's foot. What are all those for? Eye strain, dried spring, agaricus masks the taste of the rest of it. Greening goat's foot, in particular, has an eccentric flavor profile. It's mushroom-based. I'm a big believer in the fungal pharmacy. How's the water looking tonight? The Echo is dicey tonight. Bad luck for you. Expect waves and diversions. Dog would drive us by the Silo mail stop, but we may need to spend some time on the indirect route before we hit your stop, okay? And there's other business, mail to drop off, garbage to pick up, and a few favors to execute, all dotted on riverbanks from here to there. I hope you enjoyed the trip on our little mammoth. The boat's called Mammoth? Take advantage of all the amenities, fresh air, cozy bunks, hot tea, a video room. There are some pretty interesting tapes down there, actually. Unusual, I mean. Weird. Watch out that VCR doesn't take your hand off, though. It's untrustworthy. What kind of weird tapes? There's one with this woman. She's just like standing there talking, but you can't really hear her. And there's this awful hum. See for yourself, it's down there somewhere. Hey, do me a favor. Go ask Will how the repairs are going if he needs anything. Coming up on the next stop here, just refueling and picking up a few things. I could grab a bolt or some wire or something, whatever he needs. Well, eyes on the road. Okay. Hi, Mammoth. Is the mammoth sitting cross-legged? Were we all mold and whiskey fed and... Oh! Wet gears. Wet gears? Probably. Who knows? First thing I tried anyway. Down here by this little blue box, I took all the gears out and dried each one by hand. Then I loaded them back in again. That took care of the grinding sound, but her trunks keeps doing that sparking, clanking, leaping thing. To be honest with you, I'm not really qualified for this work. Kate's a friend. You know how it is, don't you? Now you two know each other. So, ever walked through rolling farmland? Sure, along the highway. Along the highway, that's what I mean. Or small roads. Well, I sure did. I slipped under or over fences, and I walked barefoot with the seeds when they were just planted. I tilled the earth with my toes. Hey, I should tell you where I left my shoes. Did you know I'm a classically trained organist? It's true. Look at these long fingers and pedal-gripping toes. Oh god, I do not want to, thank you. It doesn't matter. A minor in French literature earned me a position teaching Artaud to Zola at the university. I have one of Zola's, actually, on my bookshelves. Never got around to reading it. Well, some shitty governor cut state funding for our department, and I was demoted to mopping floors, running wiring through walls or in dangerous places. I even operated the soundboard at the student theater. I left my shoes there at the university. It was a protest. Walk without shoes for something important or tragic. I ended up by the shore, and soon I was drifting along the Echo. I ran for a while above ground then. Doesn't matter anymore, but I prefer subterranean waters anyway. Kate brings me along, and I record what I see and hear. I try to help with maintenance. I drop off the mail and pick up the trash. On occasion, I take the helm. Anyway, that's all I try to remember anymore. I listen to river stories, and my own stories get fainter and fainter. Well, I'll just keep drawing gears, I guess. Oh, shit, we didn't get to ask. Ezra runs up to Shannon. Whoa, slow down, it's slippery up on deck. Do you have batteries? Yeah, of course. What for? Johnny said I could use his tape recorder, but it needs a battery. Oh, fun. Well... Shannon searches pockets. Here's 4 different kinds. Surely one of these should fit. Thank you. You got your battery, small man. Go get you some tape. Oh, I'm Ezra now. Oh, there's Blue. Hi, Blue. Where's Shannon? Oh, I can go up the stairs. No, I can't. Let's head inside, I guess. I don't know if it matters which door we use. Musicians. Okay. Oh, there's a downstairs too. Really? You were entranced, you don't remember this? It's okay, we've all seen live concerts. Serrano opened, his tape machine was broken or something and got really cosmic. Right, at the flower shop, I remember that show, Sorry, Clara. Well, you have a second chance to hear it tonight. That was fast. Got the batteries? Let's see. Perfect. This one will do. So, you hit this button here to record. Hold it right here so you don't cover the microphone with your hand. I bet you'll find a lot of good sounds. just around the tugboat. There's plenty of tape in there, so don't be stingy with it. Just record anything that catches your ear. It really changes the way you listen. For the better, I mean. Are you playing a concert tonight? I could record that. Yeah, Clara came here all the way from Lithuania just to do this Echo River gig. It's just a tour. It's a tour. Tomorrow I'll be in Nashville, and then Atlanta, and then over to the coast. Brutal. Well, we're lucky she's making a stop. Johnny and I saw her play once, and I remember loving it, and Johnny was moved. Speaking of Serrano, it's his night at the rum colony. Kate says she usually stops off there. Well, that's ideal. I'm supposed to meet a lady there to look at some old engine parts about 3 hours ago. 3 hours goes fast at the rum colony, ma'am. I bet she's still there. I hope we don't stop there too long. My concert is soon. I don't want to keep them waiting. It's river time. Nobody expects you to be punctual. Hey, why don't you get that tape recorder try? See if that cat over there has anything he wants to say. There's a cat? I often use found sounds in my music. If you find some interesting sounds tonight, you can help me out. Cute. And here's a guy with is this Conway? Wait. Where his arm? Is he drinking again? Man. You know, it's the strangest thing. Can't remember why I came up here. Maybe you should slow down? No, I'm good. It's just that thing about... What was it? When you walk through a door? When you go into the kitchen for something, and as soon as you pass from one room into another, you forget what you wanted. You have to walk back out just to remember. Like you left a part of your brain behind. Hey, I wonder if I could follow that brain crumb trail all the way back to the room I was born in. Conway cranes his neck over the railing. You were driving for hours. Get any sleep? I had a weird dream. Yeah, that's when you get the strangest dreams. When you nod off, right? Just kind of dip your toes into sleep. And some weird image floats by and takes a nibble. Shannon leans over the railing and looks at the river below. It does look cold, doesn't it? Yeah. Better keep that kid away from the edge. Person could easily fall in. He's been exploring. He seems to keep himself entertained. It's good for him. It's important to know how to be alone. What's up, huh? You look like there's something you want to ask? Fine, he can ask it. One question. Do you really have to go work at hard times? Didn't seem so bad, did it? It's a way to live. I mean, rent a bed, eat at the cafeteria. Not like I have a choice. I think you do have a choice. Got to repay my debt. Hell, I should be grateful for the opportunity. If you want to die with any dignity, you've got to sell up. That's why it's such a damn shame when people go sudden. Oh man. This is not ideal. Oh! Wow, okay. I'm sure I talk too much. Everyone on this river does. The problem is that we listen twice as much as that. We're like telling you half of the stories we hear. Kate told me that I ought to have been a photographer. She said, "You have an uncanny way of having been in the place at the time the thing happened there, and that's the hardest part of taking a photograph anyway." Nice of her to say, but it isn't true. Though I know just about every story on this river. Most of them I picked up second, third, or fourth hand, and so on. Listening, see? Now, I know what you're gonna ask, so I'm gonna answer it. Yes, I'm sure they're all true. I personally believe a story gets more true as it's tossed around from brain to brain, and the whole community brings their insight to bear on the brittle facts of experience. There are a few Echo River stories I've witnessed directly. I saw that big owl migration pass through. You might have heard about that. I was there when the old train station flooded. I saw the ghost of Stephen Bishop brew up a batch of white lightning on a raft. Or, anyway, I talked to a few sailors who'd recently crossed paths with him and, I suspect, sampled his wares. One night, when I was working on the Mucky Mammoth, we picked up a gaggle of passengers headed down to a mail drop by the silo of Light Reflections. I knew a couple of them in passing, a pair of traveling musicians, I don't know how to pronounce words anymore, whom I often encountered on the river. The others were strangers to me at the time. Oh, this is talking about our group. A young woman, a small boy, and an old man whose name I didn't catch. Oh, and a smelly old dog. We docked at a gas station so the Mammoth could refuel. Ezra followed the Junebug and Johnny into the gas station. Act 4, Scene 2. A gas station. We caught it close. I usually find this place upriver. Everybody's on the lake tonight. The gas station moves around? Sure, it's not anchored or anything. Could be anywhere up and down the Echo. You just kind of run into it when you need it, or hopefully a little before you need it. I usually stop here once a night, though. Though, to be honest, I'm not sure if it's even the same one. Doesn't have a name or anything, and I never really paid attention to who's behind the counter. Anyway, it's nice to see you two. Most of my regular passengers must have gotten held up elsewhere in their journey tonight. It's that storm, I think. Kate, watching Ezra sprint past. Look at him go. That kid has a lot of energy. It's got to be past his bedtime or something, right? I don't think he has a bedtime. He's a maverick. Sounds familiar. You don't have any of your own... no, I guess not. I just realized. You two come through here so often. We chat about all kinds of stuff. But I never thought to ask about family. We're all the family we need. That's sweet. So, how about that storm upstairs? Did you two get caught in it? I heard it kind of roamed around and sudden. I'm sure we'll hear all about it tomorrow. Flooding, property damage, probably killed a few tomatoes. It's got the river churning and everyone headed to the lake here, where the water's calmer. I myself don't mind navigating a choppy river, not at all. I've got a good feel for it. Plus, it's better for fungal growth. High water consumes the cave moth, Their wet wings come together into these little balls of nutrient-dense mushroom food, jammed by current here and there between the rocks. I have never seen a mushroom grow like on a soggy cave moth carcass. Amazing. If I could get a day off, Val and I would be out there all day tomorrow to harvest. I mean it. You'll be ready by tomorrow. The mushroom will grow just as fast as you can pump water into it. Hey, are you two headed out this way tomorrow? Maybe I could send Val ashore with you for a few hours. She's got a remarkable nose for mushrooms. You wouldn't even need to know what to look for. Put a bag around her neck and she'll just bring them back to you. Yeah. We don't know where we'll be tomorrow. No, I should have figured. Seems you two are always on the move. It does seem that way. So I should get back aboard. No rush, I just want to brew some tea before we get on the way. Oh, wait a minute, it's the people with the planes from earlier in the game, in Act 1, early in Act 1. There were two people pushing this plane on the highway. Yes. Now they're here. Headed into the station? Thought I'd grab some black coffee for the old man. He's looking a bit waterlogged. Sure, don't want him falling asleep on you. Nah, he'll be alright. He seems like the type who can hold his liquor. Seems like he has a little experience, I mean. Hey, while you're in there, could you remind the gas station attendant his fuel is on my tab? Charged to the Mucky Mammoth? Oh, and Will wanted a scratch ticket. Thanks. I think I'll just watch the lake for a bit, ma'am. Now we are Junebug. Well, the dog's name is Val. Attendant. Looking for crystals? I need a scratch ticket. What kind? The one with the Sudoku puzzle on it. Sudocash. It's a little complicated, but I had a guy in here who won $10 off one just last week. Anything else? Snacks. Sure, we have some snacks. We have... How about some jerky? It's homemade, not by me. You work on the Mammoth? I can add it to your tab. Oh, you know the tugboat. Captain Kate said I'd have to remind you. Sure, they're here every night. It's okay, I have one of those faces. Forgettable. I wouldn't say that. It's okay, I'm going to accept it. Accept it. In fact, I've learned to cherish it. There's dignity in being forgotten, letting the crowd flow around you unspoiled. I used to live in a city, I mean a real city, Cleveland, Ohio. I had some family money then, and I didn't have to work. I lived in hotels. In daylight, I worked wherever the people were. My only duty was to the crowd. I was its observer, its historian, its detective, its poet. Well, the money ran out, and I dispersed with the rest of them. Took my duties with me here, to Lake Leith and the Echo River. I lived behind this counter, anonymous, invisible, but I lived with dignity. And yourself? Sure, something like that. I enjoy the company of strangers. They enjoy the company too. As fleeting as it is, sufficient unto itself. Snacks are in the back there. Junebug surveys a row of chocolates, licorices, cheese crackers, dehydrated, bleached, reconstituted, and colorized. Johnny seemed distant. He was excited about Kate's dog, too. A bag on the bottom shelf is decorated with cartoonish pictures of vegetables. Through a plastic window in the packaging, she can see puffed corn shaped and colored like carrots, tomatoes, and broccoli florets, and a few puffy white discs that might represent potatoes. What would it be like to travel with one more? Somewhere in there is surely a preservative, in case the rest of the process hasn't done enough to stop the flow of time. It may be best just to ask him what's on his mind. She turns the bag over to look for the ingredients, but only finds a marketing blurb. Inspired by real vegetables. Norm. Norm to attendant. Shit, that floodwater washed you halfway up out to sea. I was looking for you down by New Cadensburg, same as usual, but ain't nobody there, and the river's deep as an elephant's. Oh, didn't see you there, ma'am. Pardon my language. Where are you headed? Well, in fact, I'm headed right here. Glad to have found it at last. Extending his hand warmly. I expect you must be Loretta. Enchanted to meet you. Sorry I'm late. Hey, is that coming on to flowery or something? Enchanted? Repeating it now, I feel a little silly. I'm not Loretta, but I think you'll do fine with Enchanted. Well, thanks for saying so. But now I'm double embarrassed. How do you know Loretta? I really don't. I met Loretta on the computer. We met each other there, Or I guess we spoke through the computer and agreed to meet? I don't know the terminology. I haven't dated in quite a while. Back when I met Greta, that's my wife. Excuse me, my ex. Or maybe I am her ex? I don't know how to say it. Anyway, back then there wasn't even such a thing as computers at all. I mean, I guess there probably was, but I never heard of one. I worked in textiles. So, here I am. So, what's your plan when Loretta shows up? Oh, maybe head down to the rum colony? Shoot, I forgot to ask if she likes to drink. I really never know these days. I guess first I'd ask her about that. If she doesn't like rum, and maybe try to take her line of that sanctuary. That's pretty romantic, in a sense. I mean, like, misty valleys and ruined churches romantic, not like flowers and chocolates romantic. Of course, they got that memorial there. It's a little depressing, actually. Maybe we kind of sail around that. Damn it all. I guess I probably missed her. I wonder if she'll agree to meet me again. I'm sure she'll understand with the weather and all. Nice of you to say so. Well, I guess I'll head on back. Hey, supposing Loretta doesn't want to see me after all? My card is full. Oh, no, sorry, that's not what I meant. Actually, I wanted to ask you for some advice. I had to type up a sort of autobiography for the computer date, and I spent a lot of time on it, but I only got one reply, and that was Loretta herself. I was happy to meet her, but supposing she's lost interest now. Do you think you could maybe give me some feedback? It's only a paragraph or so, I have it all memorized. Spent so damn long writing it. Okay, here's how it goes. I'm a good-natured man, retired, and spend most of my time sailing the Echo River, riding currents of subterranean gas and that strange invisible wind that moans out of the small tunnels along the bank, seeking a companion to map the river with me. I have 2 grown children, but they live far away. No goofballs. Okay, what do you think? was that about goofballs? I mean, like, serious inquiries only. You might miss out on some really great goofballs. You may be right about that. You'll be fine. Alright, thanks for your help, man. Really renewed my confidence. And I'm ready to get back on that computer. You have a good night. No, what's left of it anyway. Oh, we are talking to Val the dog? What do you think of that other dog we got on board, Val? Louie's a sleepy old hound dog. I know she isn't doing any mushroom hunting, that's for sure. I like to try my hand at mushroom hunting. I bet I'd be pretty good at it. So, would you like to ride with us one day? I bet you would. We're good company. Maybe we can still talk her into it. Sorry, Cricket. Nothing good on offer. Not even those little gummy pomegranate seeds? I didn't look. It's okay, I'll go check. Wish me luck. Good luck. Okay, now I'm going to shop. What's here? Looks like a boat. Okay, Junebug and Val, they're about to have a conversation. Did my Johnny talk your ear off out here? I suspect there are some things you can only say to animals. I guess that's just how people are. Different thoughts for different listeners. Hey man, how's your night? Quiet. Where are you headed? Hope meet some new friends make the delivery, or along for the ride anyway. Well, even if you're not doing the heavy lifting or navigating or whatever, passenger contributes to the journey too. I never travel, but I do love travelers. That's what I like about this job, when travelers come to me. Meet some interesting people. I wouldn't say I meet them, but I do sell them gas. Well, let me know if I can help you find anything. Glory, it is good to be among friends. Suit yourself. Wow, I should take a page out of your book, man. I'd give you any advice I could, little guy. I think the most important thing I can say is... Glory, it is good to be among friends. Helps to keep things in perspective, I guess. It's a ritual of remembrance for me. Tonight, particularly so. It's my birthday. I am 5 years old. Do you know why I say that? Well, I'm gonna tell you. 5 years and some days ago, I set out on the Echo River alone, or so I thought at the time. I was looking for an ice floe. They're occasionally rumored to travel our humble artery on their way, from who knows where to who knows where. Who knows why? It's a mystery. An hour into the journey, my lantern gave out. No, I always carry 3 or 4 spares. You'll never catch me in the dark again. Lesson learned, buddy. But that night, when that lantern went out, I was stuck in the dark. I kept my arm extended, running my fingers along the cave wall, trying to keep my bearings as best I could. and at least make sure I wasn't going in circles. I just prayed I'd find another traveler who knew his way back to the lake or above ground, or even just a crack in the rock to get a glimpse of moonlight. I had a large bag of apples with me. After a long while, maybe a day, I was getting weak, so I took my hand down from the rock to tear the bag open. Well, when I reached back out, I couldn't find that cave wall anymore, or any other. I was totally unmoored, buddy, totally adrift. And it was so dark. I started counting time in apples eaten. I drifted in despair for 4 apples. Then I schemed and planned and dreamed for 2 apples. Finally, I came to accept my fate. Lost at sea. And this phase, I think, would have continued indefinitely had I not come down to that very last damn apple. Picture me, feeling around in the empty bag, certain that somehow there was another one of those fist-sized chunks of the life-giving fruit, already softened by time and probably an unappetizing brown. Nope, that was it. Just as I was about to bite into my last meal, I felt a tickle on my upper lip. It hatched right then. Couldn't have been a moment later I would have eaten it. My last apple was infested by a damn fruit fly maggot. Well, that should have been the end of it. Should have eaten that apple and that fly while I was at it, and put an end to our little food chain suicide pact. But I waited, out of mercy. After all, this fly was basically a newborn child, right? Gross insect child, but still a child, right? Born into darkness and famine, hungry and alone. I mean, can you imagine that? No other flies out there on the boat, and never would be. No other flies to welcome him into the world. I mean, no fly culture, no fly society, no fly history. True orphan. I started to get depressed just thinking about it all. Worked out a thick tear, I'm not ashamed to say. Well, that fly landed on my cheek, right under my left eye, right on that salty teardrop, and then, blinding glory, his ass lit up like a candle. That wasn't a fly, buddy, that was a damn lightning bug. So that's how come I'm here today with you folks, only because I found my way out of that strange sobriquet by the dim-lit rear of some orphan insect hatched out of my lost rotten apple. Glory, it is good to be among friends. Okay, bro comes into the gas station, tells his story, leaves, doesn't elaborate. I guess he's been elaborating for the last however many minutes that lasted. That guy's a trip. That gas station attendant. Did you talk to him? It's funny, he actually reminds me of that frog we had for a bit. I thought it was a toad. Oh, is there a difference? Yeah, toads are bigger. Huh, I never knew. Okay, so how does that gas station attendant remind you of a frog? No, I don't know. Because he liked to talk, I guess. Maybe we should pick up another one? A frog or a cat? Or an iguana or something? Or maybe a person to travel with? Huh. Now that would be a whole new adventure, wouldn't it? You and me, we're good together. Safe, free. You know what I mean? We can try stuff out, change our clothes, swap parts around, just play. I'm not lonely, just curious. With another person to play with. What else could we be? You may be right, Cricket. You really think so? Well, I thought I'd have to wear you down a little, like I did with the gerbils? Gerbils? Oh, that's Kate. Time to hit the road. River, I mean. See that small brick building? It used to be an upholstery shop. Now it's inhabited by a very skilled taxidermist whose art is greatly in demand. When it was an upholstery shop, it didn't see nearly as much business. The old shop's name has been lost to time and weather. This was decades ago. The only trace of it now is the grey frame of an old sign behind the new lettering, which now reads Trapper, Stalker, and Sportsman. And then below, smaller, no specimen is too exotic, no arrangement too fanciful. Some of the upholstery equipment is still there too, still sees active use. Elise is the resident artist, though she's not the owner of the shop. It's owned by her aunt, Ida. Ida has very little to do with the day-to-day. She's busy with other endeavors, mostly the restaurant she and her husband run on Lake Lathe. Yeah, we heard about that in the Oh, okay. This, I don't know which one I want to do. I feel like I want to browse the video collection, but probably have to be for another time. It's getting late once again, so I'll pick this up one day. Hey, quit game, I suppose. Right, game. We are almost there. Just need to finish Act 4 and then complete Pueblo de Nada. Something of nothing? Not too sure what that word is. And then Act 5. Alright, good progress made today. Time for bed.